Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Coming to you today with a video outside! We've had a lot of snow, we've had a lot of rain recently, so I thought I'd come outside and record something in between the little flurries that we've been having. Today's video we're going to be looking at the Woodsman Anorak from Helikon-Tex. If you're after a nice, lightweight, durable anorak that you can wear whilst being a woodsman, or woods lady of course, then stay tuned and find out more. Yeah, so we just go straight into it. I'm trying to develop this so that I've got something that I'd put in there, a nice little 5-second, 10-second did, you know, so yeah. I don't usually review clothes, and I bought this, I put it on Instagram, showed people that I'd got it, and I just thought, you know, if you'd be interested, would you be interested in me doing a review of this? And quite a few people said yes, so I thought I might as well, and you know, another string to my bow. I keep looking behind. If you can see behind, this is a beautiful disused railway track. This is right in the middle of the moorlands where I grew up. I used to do a lot of camping up here. I used to set lots of fires. Hey, I was a boy. But this is what the moorlands is to me, and this is where I bring my girls. So hopefully you might have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, this is where I bring my girls shooting, because there's at least 400 meters that way, and then if I were to turn the camera around, there's another 400 meters that way, and it's perfectly straight. So when I bring my girls shooting, they can understand about line of sight and so on. But just a little bit as far as my kind of bushcraft credentials are concerned, I wouldn't consider myself into bushcraft. However, I kind of am. Growing up in the moorlands, it's just what you did. You know, you got out, you were in the countryside, you were making dens, you were making little forts, you were climbing trees and just doing that sort of stuff. So I kind of am, but kind of aren't. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt. As far as experience is concerned, it's all self-taught. Me and my brother, my friends, we used to go out and we just used to do it and improvise. And I guess that's what bushcraft's all about. It's just about improvisation, isn't it? So enough about me, and more on the anorak. So I bought this because I was after something that was a little bit more lightweight that I could use in the winter. Now, as far as water resistance, water kind of wicks off this, but I wouldn't say that it was water resistant. But the main thing that I would use this in is if you're rocking a proper three-layer system. So you got a base layer, a mid layer and a top layer. This works perfectly. Underneath this I'm wearing an insulated gilet, so you can see, I mean, at the moment I've got a t-shirt, I've got that gilet on, and I have this on. A little bit more about me as well, I suppose. So while you're looking at this and you're thinking whether this would suit you, so I'm 5'10", I weigh about 200 pounds, I guess it is. That's what, 15.5 stone, which is roughly about 100 kilos. Yeah, 42-inch chest. So this is a size large, and it actually fits me really well. So I've got layers on underneath, and it goes over perfectly. As far as colours, it comes in a variety of different colours. There's your OD green, there's your coyote, there's black, there's a red. And what it uses this zip panel here and the lid over this front pocket as accents, so you can get like a tan one with green accents, and I think there's a red one with black accents. Depends what you're into. I quite like this this kind of OD green kind of look. What I will do is, I'll do this similar to the way that I would review a bag. Now, I'm just going to look again just to make sure, but yes, there's no dog walkers today. So, I'll start at the front, I guess then I'll do the sides. I'm just winging it with this one. So, the Woodsman Anorak is built off the back of the Mistral Anorak. The Mistral Anorak is pretty much identical to this, and you'll have to forgive me because I've been trying to remember this and I've completely just gone out of my head. You've got two fabrics on here. You've got Storm Stretch and you've got Dura Canvas. That's what, yeah, I keep forgetting that. So Dura Canvas is what the front is made out of, and that's mainly the difference between the Woodsman and the Mistral. The Mistral is made completely from the Storm Stretch fabric, whereas the Woodsman, the front panel here, so all the way from here down up on the sides, across here, shoulders and the arms is made from Dura canvas. That Dura canvas is a little bit more hard wearing and a little more forgiving for those kind of bushcraft activities. You're out and about, you're walking through trees, stuff's getting snagged on it, it's a lot tougher. That's not to say that the storm stretch on the back isn't tough, but when you're doing sort of activities where you're climbing or you're reaching, or you know, you're down at the fire, you need to do stuff, the stretch that you get in the back, if I hold the wrists here, there is a good stretch to that, and it's a nice elasticity, but then as soon as you come back it just pops back into place. The front, as I say, with the Dura canvas is a lot tougher, but what they've also done is it's been designed by, forgot it again, it's been designed by Survival Tech from Poland. It's been designed again for that bushcraft side, so if you're trying to start a fire, you've got rogue ambers that come towards you. It's resistant to a degree to those embers and to sparks as well. So that's the whole front. So this whole panel from top to bottom here is made from the Dura canvas across the shoulders and arms. So if I move back a second, hopefully you can see. Now, as I say, so I'm 5'10". It comes down just on the, you know, just the little patty bit there. So it's got a good length to it. So if you've got some trousers on or something, and you've got a rucksack on as well. I'm forgetting how to talk today. I think I'm just worried just in case a dog walker comes past and thinks Moorlander. So if you've got a rucksack on and it's a longer rucksack rather than a day sack, it will come down past the bottom of the rucksack to give you some protection from the elements. If water gets onto this, hopefully it will run off the back side and off your arse rather than running into a pocket and then soaking your arse, which that's never good. Nobody wants a wet arse. Where was I? Dura canvas, storm stretch. Now the arms are arms. They're really nice arms. They're not too wide, but then also not too close. As I say, I'm wearing a gilet, so my arms are naked underneath here. It does say when you purchase this that you do get some element or degree of protection from the wind. I have to admit, I've not found that much. I can feel the wind blowing through the material. I mean, it's not massive, but I wouldn't say that it was anything more than just a sweater. I mean, that's just me. You might find your arms aren't as sensitive to the wind, I don't know, but you might find that when you've got this on with a 3-layer system, it completely negates that, but then you've still got 3 layers for it to get through. So it does have a little bit of wind protection, but not as much as I feel that it says on Helikon-Tex's website. That's not definitely a bad thing though. I find that I get way too hot in these. I have to use the vents on the side, so for me that's actually an advantage. Both of the sleeves have hook and loop at the end, so if you've got gloves or whatever, or if it's very cold, the wind's blowing a lot more, you can seal up the ends to make sure that there's no debris, or you know, you can keep the bottom of your arms free, especially if you're doing things that you definitely don't want that in the way. On the sides, I have mentioned this, so on the sides you've got a ventilation, so you can zip it down from here and you can see it's wide open. Now this is the bit that I get but I don't get, and something that you possibly haven't thought about. So when you look on the Helikon-Tex website, you can see there's a guy and he's just unzipping it. The zip goes from past the armpit, almost closer to the to your elbow, and it zips, but it zips all the way down, and it also does it in the opposite direction. So if there's a little press stud here that you can pull off, and then you can zip it, and it doesn't stop. So a lot of these kind of jackets, especially for the North American audience, you've got something there that you can pull to one side if you need to use a firearm, which again I get, but with this one it doesn't it doesn't stop midway. Instead, it's one whole zip that goes all the way up, and there's nothing stopping it. I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but what I'd probably, and as you hopefully you've seen from my reviews, I get to the end and I think, is there anything that I'd change about this? And that's one of the things that I'd possibly change. I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I know that bushcraft, a lot of it is to do with improvisation. So if you've got the option that it's there, that it zips all the way up, that's definitely a good thing. The option's there. But if you didn't want that, maybe if there was an extra press stud here, similar to here, so you could open it, you could pull it, and it would stop there, so that you could then zip it back down. Because what you kind of have sometimes do is you pull it too far, and because these are YKK zippers, we all know YKK zippers, KKKKK zippers are really good, it just keeps going up, whereas if there was an extra press stud, then it would stop it. Just a little thought. I know when you see some other anoraks, they have that built in, whether it stops with a zip or they have an extra stopper there. So that's that little bit. Across the bottom you have pull ties so that you can make it a little bit tighter to you, which is great. Both sides have that zip that goes all the way up, or if you want, it will come down like that. There's no mesh in here either, so when that opens, there's nothing from stopping it opening further. Again, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but then the fact that you've got the option to do that, I suppose must be a good thing, so that you can improvise if needed. On the front, there are 2/3 pockets. So there's a pocket either side with a large zip for both that you can get your hands into, and it's a kangaroo pouch style, so my hand can go all the way through, similar to a hoodie. The zippers, really nice zips. You've got these little pull tabs on them, so if you've got gloves on, they're easy to find, easy to pull up and down. Just giving them a little shake, it's an easy one-handed operation. You don't have to be holding it to then be able to do that, so it's very glove friendly. When you get it on the inside, there's nothing much in there apart from the lining, and then, actually I've never checked. You can feel the stitching on the back, but that's about it really. There's nothing more that you need. But if it's cold, you can join your hands together and you can keep those hands warm whilst in there. So that's the one, or kind of two pockets. I keep looking at that. I should stop looking at and I should look at you. The other one is a large pocket here at the front. So it has double zips. Move these into the middle. They have the same zip pulls, so you can pull those open, and then inside here, hopefully you can see, you have a large pocket. On the inside there is a little grommet here that you can pass some headphones through if you wanted to. There is a key stay, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller pockets that you can then use to pull. You can put knives in there, you can put whatever you need to put in there, gloves or anything. And then there is a large pocket at the front that you can put extra stuff in, like a large map. All of that fits in with no worries whatsoever. The zips, again, if you wanted to, with a little jiggle, they're very easy to use with gloves on, or without gloves on, I suppose. You know, we don't mind whether you wear gloves here on Moorlander EDC. Gloves are always optional, but if you want to wear gloves, you know, we don't hold that against you. Still no one coming on with the dogs. Moving up, you then have a nice large zip. So it has a beard protector, so that when you pull the zip straight up to the top, there's a little bit of extra cloth that goes across the zip to stop your beard getting caught in it. You can pull the zip down and it opens all the way down to the pocket. Again, these are YKK zippers. You have pulls in there so that you can pull this tighter if you want to. There's just enough kind of rigidity in the fabric so that if you want it so that it's all the way zipped up, it stays there and it protects your beard, or you know, you can pull it up and it covers the bottom part of your face. But then if you want to pull it down a little bit, there's just enough rigidity so that it will stay there for you, so that it's not all over the place. But then also, if you want, you can completely pull it down and have it flat against you. I've noticed some people also as well tuck it in like that, so that the flaps are completely out of the way. And it's great for that. You can stow away those flaps if you need to. The zip's really nice. I know it's a silly thing to mention because it's a YK zip. You expect that YK zips, they just, you know, they go up and down, but actually taking it off, pulling it over your head and putting it, or when you put it back on, you pull up the zip. They're just really nice zips. It's strange to kind of talk too much about zips, but zips are zips, but not when it's a YKK zipper. As far as the hood's concerned, if I just turn away for a second, there is, just thought if I talk that way you can't hear me, so let's cut to a little video. So hopefully you can see, you can lift the hood up, and then on the back there's also an option so that you can pull that tight to stop the wind. Looking good. But also as well, because the hood is quite large, if you're wearing a cap, or you're wearing a hat, or I suppose even if you're wearing some sort of helmet, if you've been doing some climbing for the day, it fits over all of that, and then there's an extra piece of hook and loop at the back that you can use to fasten the hood, or just condense the hood so that it fits on your back a little bit better. Now I've not thought about the next bit, but the next bit's the back, but if I look that way you're not going to hear me, so how can I do this? I'll just, you know, look, it's the back. I've already mentioned that the back is made from storm stretch, which is just, it's got a lot more elasticity to it. So if you're wearing something, and you're struggling to get it on, or if you're trying to get it off, or if you're bending over to do things, climbing, just maneuvering around terrain with a jacket like this or an anorak like this, it's very easy. There's no constriction in your chest. It's very rare that you kind of make that sort of movement, whereas making that sort of movement or leaning or stretching, to have that elasticity across the shoulders, across the yoke there, and through the back is very good. I guess that's it. There's a lot to this, but then really it's a very simple anorak. There's little bits that shows for me that Helikon-Tex have put a lot of thought into this. The pocket, you've got that extra internal storage. I've not reviewed a lot of anoraks before, but having those internal sections that you can then put smaller items that you know, alright, okay, my pocket for my knife is always on this side, is really useful. I've walked with this when I've been out in the moorlands with my family, and having a map, well that's a hank, but having the map there on the front instead of wearing a chest rig, it's just all built into it, which I found extremely useful. On days when I've been cold, when I've been walking around town, again, having a through pocket, I've not really reviewed a lot of anoraks before, but having the through pocket that you can keep your hands together to keep them nice and warm is great. I've mentioned the strangeness about the zips on the side. I really do think it's a good thing, but it's just strange. It's just strange. That's all I can say really. This thing opens up almost like a poncho. You know, I can throw it over my shoulders if I wanted to. If you are a hardcore woodsman, bushcraft person, then please feel free to put in the comments below how you would use that. The best thing that I've found is, let's say you're dirty because you've been out and you've got something underneath. Now what I can do is, I can take this gilet off now, completely, toss that to one side, and this top layer I've not really took off. I'm kind of selling myself on this now. I suppose that it really is good that, you know, you've got that option, and I keep going back to that, you know, it's about being able to work with what you've got, and having the option to be able to do that must be a good thing. Yeah. Sold. I'll take 2 Helikon-Tex. I'll have one of every colour. There you go. I've rambled through this whole video. Hopefully this makes sense, and this has helped you decide whether or not you would like to spend your hard-earned cash on a Helikon-Tex Woodsman Anorak. I hope it's helped. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit like. If this is your first video where you've watched me, then feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you've watched other of my videos, why haven't you subscribed already? No, just kidding. You're more than welcome to subscribe or not. If you have enjoyed this, me rambling and just spluttering through a review of this anorak, then put some notes in the comments. I want to hear feedback. The more feedback I get from you guys, the better I get, I suppose. And maybe I'll get in touch with Helikon-Tex and see if there's anything else I can review. Yeah, thank you. I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Stay more. Oh, is there anything I forgot? Is there anything I'd change? Zips. But I guess I'm sold on that now. Makes sense? Cool. Stay safe. Stay Moorlander. Stay EDC. Reviewing this anorak, I should get outside to make some content. So keep watching. No. Obviously you're going to keep watching. It's me. To look at the Helikon-Tex Woodsman Anorak. If you're after a why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? Oh, nearly fell over. Stone. As far as my credentials are concerned, that's my bushcraft experience. It's just actually getting out and doing stuff and then trying to make content for YouTube. Yeah, feel free to come past.
Thank you.
I happened to make this. If you see down there, this is hopefully where you might see. I love my job. It's so fun. I like being outdoors. And I like the people who walk past. These are my loyal subjects. As the Moorlander, king of the moorlands, this is the kind of thing that happens. People stop. There's a sign just round the corner down there that I put up, and it says, you know, the Moorlander is recording today, and if you could just walk past as though you don't know who I am. Obviously everybody knows who I am. I'm always asking, people are always asking for autographs and stuff. So yeah, so like that little incident then, she just walked past. I knew she wanted an autograph, but you know, it's hard. You know, yeah, it's difficult. These are struggles, proper struggles. Struggles that we all have in life. You see me? Just a normal guy. I'm Moorlander, but it's hard. It's hard. Ah!